I understand people being upset, right? I understand the fear, as I mentioned before, that HBCU football will slip, um, maybe back to not getting the type of attention they got with Deion there. But I mean, even disappointed is okay. But to be playing it, like he just broke the cardinal sin. Um, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to the brother.
It's your boy Verse, and this is Open Mike with OTR Mike.
Yeah, that's right. This is the show where the mic is open for any discussion.
Feeling about OTR. I don't think we're done.
I want to try to find something that's going to be interesting. Then obviously on the Wednesday we got the actual show and then the overtime show, and I know
I'm all about.
Yo, what up, good people? It's your boy OTR Mike, and let me be the first to welcome you to another episode of Open Mic with yours truly. Look, man, this is the show where the mic is open for all discussions, no matter what it is, who it is, or where it is. Before I get kicked off, let me shout out my boy Hendo for the intro. Let me tell you something about Hendo, man. He don't like the praise, but too bad. This is my show. I do what I want. No, but Hendo made that for me. I just kind of mentioned that I liked the intro to his show. And the way Hendo functions is, man, when he realizes you like something, man, he'll throw something together for you, and you don't even know that that's his plan or what he's doing. So shout out to that brother Hendo, host of Ravens Ungatekeepers. For all the Ravens fans, man, go over there, subscribe, check out Hendo's channel. If you want that real on the Ravens, that's where you want to be. But he's an excellent content creator in his own right and a super supporter. And I appreciate you, Hendo. So yeah, man, Hendo made that for your boy. Obviously, those watching got to see it. Those listening, you got to hear it. But yeah, man, I'm here with another episode. Solo journey continuing. I don't know why I look so extra light skinned. These lights is bright on your boy. But anyway, look, man, I promise to hopefully not be before you long today on this episode. Something that I wanted to discuss real quick. News that actually dropped over the it dropped probably over the last week, but it was made official tonight or today. And that is Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, is leaving Jackson State and heading to Colorado to be the head man of that university. That's right. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, is leaving, going to Power 5 school, or, the next level, as they call it. Now, there's been a lot of backlash behind this move. And, a lot of people upset. A lot of people feel like he bailed. A lot of people feeling like he, I don't know, maybe they feeling like, excuse your boy, but that's just too much light. I don't know, man. I guess a lot of people feeling like he used Jackson State as a stepping stone, which in the grand scheme of things, I don't really see an issue with. Just a different range of emotions. You got some people that's happy for him, and wishing him well on his new journey, and then you just got folks that's just coming down on you, man. So I wanted to talk about that real quick, man, and I wanted to give my opinion on it. I wanted to show you some of the opinions that I've seen online about it. So yeah, let's get it. So let's start here, man. Look, Deion. Well, before I go there, let's give a rundown on Deion for those of you who don't really know him. You should know him, but some of my listeners may not. So of course, Deion was a great football player. in his own right. Played two sports. He played professional football, NFL, and professional baseball. Um, One of the greatest athletes ever, in my opinion. And Hall of Fame player and all of the above, if I didn't say that already. Uh, he coached a little bit of high school football. He coached his sons down in Texas, I believe. And then he got a call from Jackson State saying, "Hey, man, what you think about being our head coach?" And he hopped on the opportunity, and his impact was instant. Now I'm just talking from the product on the field. Um, Jackson State was 21-40, I believe, the 6 years prior to Deion getting there. And then over his time frame, he went 27-5, winning two SWAC championships. So, like I said, it was instant, man. He was able to bring um, big time talent down to the HBCU level. Even was able to pull the number two player in the nation, high school player in the nation, um, from a major Power Five school. I think it was Florida State. He was originally committed to, and he signed with Jackson State. Something that you don't see at all, if at all, rarely. You sometimes you would see that type of talent go down, but it would be okay. It's the second stop. You know, didn't work out on the big school, so they go down to the FCS level, down to HBCUs, and but he was pulling this type of talent not as second stops, just pulling them out of high school, and um, it was amazing to see. And I think that's part of the reason why people are upset, because of his impact on the game and his impact on HBCUs. Um, and I think we're afraid that it's going to go away with him, and I kind of disagree with that. Right? One, I think it's an immense amount of pressure put on Deion Sanders. Right? Um, you know, Coaches leave places all the time, but it just seems like him getting an opportunity to move on to a higher level, uh, a promotion, so to speak, if you want to keep it on the level of your day to day job, and people are upset by that. And um, I don't know. I just feel like you don't hear this at all about now. You see coaches, like I said, all the time leave situations where they build something, um, another job comes calling, maybe a higher profile job, and they bounce like it's nothing. And um, Dion just seemed to catch some heat for doing that, and it's just not right in my opinion. And in situations like that, even when outside of Dion, when coaches leave, right, the way I judge the situation is about how you leave, how you left the program, right? And I think that's the idea. You leave the program better than it was before you got there. And I think 100% Dion has done that and will be doing that at Jackson State. Um, so that's my little spiel so far, but I want to get into some of the comments that I've seen online. Let's start here with Devin Respris. Uh, at Coach Too Bless, shout out to him. He said, I see a lot of negative talk surrounding Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State and going to Colorado. Prime left Jackson State and HBCU football better than he found it. He's a black man climbing the rankings from HBCU to the Power Five. This opens the door for others. Good luck, brother. I agree. He's climbing the ranks. Now, mind you, he had high school level coaching experience before this. He made it look easy because of his success, So, you know, it is a huge move and a huge um accomplishment for him, right? This is a promotion, right? This is with a lot of coaches who coach on those on that level, right? This is so to speak a dream to them, right? So why is it okay to crush that if that's Deion's dream? I mean, I think he looks at coaching as a bigger picture. I think he wants to have an impact on the kids, especially our kids, especially black boys. And again, he's done that. Um, but I just think again, that's the unfair side of it. Is that he, being a black man, has the pressure of saving HBCU football on his shoulders. And instead of looking at it from the flip side, like this gentleman mentioned, he showed it can be done on that level. And I agree that he's left not just Jackson State, but HBCU football in a far, far better place than it was before he got there. More comments. Shout out to Ashton Morris. He said if Deion leaves Jackson State and takes Shador, who is his son, he's proving folks right. Deion was preaching elevating HBCU programs and looks like he was just using Jackson State as a launching pad for his coaching career, which is fine. But don't go around acting like it was for altruistic reasons. Again, people feel like he used it as a launching pad. And to that, I want to mention what Deion said to his own players when he told them. He said something along the lines of how coaching is one of the professions where you either you don't last long, right? He said there's no grave for coaches, right? It's very rare that you find a coach who is at one team his entire career. And his point was, if it ain't working, they ship you out of it, right? So when opportunities come, sometimes you have to move on. And again, I don't think people are looking at it from that standpoint. Um, and then to say he used them as a launch pad, I mean, quite frankly, we would be remiss to not mention that they both benefited from Coach Prime being there, Jackson State and himself, right? So again, you're entitled to your opinion. And I'll say this: I understand people being upset, right? I understand the fear, as I mentioned before, that HBCU football will slip, maybe back to not getting the type of attention they got with Deion there. But I mean, even disappointed is okay. But to be playing it, like he just broke the cardinal sin. Um, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to the brother. More comments. Shout out to Sheena Quick. She said, whether Deion Sanders left Jackson State this year or 10 years from now, there was going to be critics. For those against him moving on, how many seasons would have sufficed for you, in your opinion? I think that's a great point. I think that's an excellent point. I think that's the type of pressure that he was on or under, that no matter when he would have left, something would have been said. And it just goes back to the point of coaches on the level above him, how they move around like musical chairs, and it's fine. They'll be wearing the team colors one day, and the next day they are standing on a podium being introduced as the coach of a new team, and that's fine. And that's kind of moving on the same level, right? Like I said, you might be moving to a more of a prestigious school, but at the end of the day, if you're on Power Five level, you're on Power Five level. Again, what's getting lost in here in this situation is this is a step up for Deion. So yeah, Deion is moving up in ranks. This is a promotion for him. Why are we upset that he's taking a step up in his career? The- it- I- you know, we can't. I don't think that's fair. We can't do that. we can't do that. And I don't think if this was Deion moving from, say, okay, he's now the head coach at Colorado. Let's say this is Deion moving from Colorado to the University of Maryland. Nothing would be said. You'd be happy for him. But because he's leaving HBCU, we're upset. Now, one of the things that I wanted to point out that I think is being missed in this entire situation is, again, like I said, there was a benefit for both sides, no doubt, right? Jackson State gave Deion a platform to show his talent as a coach. And because of who Deion is, from his playing career and his personality and his success, he brought immense attention to Jackson State, right? Like more attention than they've ever gotten, especially for football. So that goes back to me saying leaving the university in a better place than it was before you got there. Then also was he also like he exposed those kids and those players to things otherwise they wouldn't be. Right? Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. Like, he brought college game day to Jackson State University. Like that's big. There's some Power 5 schools who hasn't hosted college game day. College game day, for those who don't know, is the biggest college football pregame show on TV, on ESPN. And he brought that attention to Jackson State. Again, leaving the university in a better place than it was before you got there. Now, the kids they also met celebrities, ton of celebrities, their favorite rappers, got to rub shoulders with some of the people they would have never got to had a chance to do or meet or be around if it wasn't for Coach Prime. Off the field, things that aren't being mentioned. Again, leaving the university in a better place than it was before you got there. Another thing that Deion did that's not being talked about. Deion Sanders donated half his salary to Jackson State to complete the football facilities. Do I need to say it again? Leaving the university in a better place than it was before you got there. How many coaches you hear doing that? Right? Go online. Look at some of their videos. Go back to when he first got there. The facilities, the locker rooms, the gear, all of those things. I believe they were with Under Armour, if I'm not mistaken. New uniforms, like changed things immensely, impacting that school immensely, helping them finish their facilities out of his own pocket. Come on now, some people we gotta relax on, and we gotta look at the bigger picture of these things, right? he also put these kids in positions to play championship football. As I mentioned earlier in the show, 21 and 40, the 6 years prior to Deion getting there. In the 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years, something like that he's been there, two SWAC championships, giving them the opportunity to play on a level that they haven't played forever, that university hasn't seen in a long time. Right? Y'all thinking about that? But it's even deeper that I want to show y'all that Deion has done for the university. Now, Deion, and I think I'm missing one here, but that's okay. Deion, now you know what? I'm going to put it up. We on the fly, right? We on the fly. Y'all sticking with me. I'm gonna put this up. I want y'all to see this, and I want the listeners to hear this. On an even deeper level, right? The financial gain that was recognized and felt by the city in Jackson, Mississippi. Now, shout out to WLBT News in Jackson, Mississippi. This, in the long run, said, I'll read it to you, right? They're saying, and I quote, we're just a few days away from Jackson State University's biggest game of the year, the SWAC Championship, which was played today. Visit Jackson is projecting the game to bring in over $6 million for the capital city. That's similar to the numbers we saw for Jackson State's homecoming game and when ESPN's College Game Day rolled into town. In all, Visit Jackson expects these three games to have an economic impact of over $18 million. Again, leaving the university in a better place than it was before he got there, impacting the city of Jackson. Just think about that. Before you get mad or criticize Deion and saying he used this place as a stepping stone, look deeper into his impact. But there's more. It continues from WBLT. If you look at the city of Jackson's sales tax revenue for the fiscal year of 2022, you'll notice a nearly $3 million increase from the fiscal year before. A fiscal year starts on July 1st and runs through June 30th, which for 2022 would have included the entirety of Coach Prom's first full season with Jackson State. Even this current fiscal year, you'll see the capital city's sales tax revenue is up more than $250,000 from this time last year. That doesn't even include JSU's homecoming game and when ESPN's College Game Day came to town. I know I sound like a broken record, but leaving the university in a better place than it was before he left, or before he got there, I'm sorry. So, look, man, I say those things because sometimes the emotional reaction is to say, oh, man, he dipped, man, or he sold us out, oh, man, he ain't live up to his word, yada, yada, yada. And as I said before, it's okay to be upset. It's okay. Like if the coach in my favorite school leaves, I'm gonna be upset, right? But to be mad, to call him a sellout, to say he used as a stepping stone, I'm not gonna go that far. Especially if he left the university in a better place than it was before he got there. And what I just read to you, he left the city in a better place than it was before he got there. And you don't hear him bragging about that. You don't hear him bragging about giving up his half his salary to build the facilities. Uh, they even there's even talks as of actually on that college game day show when they came into town, the mayor talked about building a stadium, the first stadium in the city of Jackson, off the back and the strength of Deion Sanders and the revenue and the attention that he brought to that town. Now, could it take a dip? I'm sure it will. But he's left the blueprint. Follow it. Follow it. In the video of him explaining to his kids of him leaving and accepting the job, sitting right next to the AD of the school, he said plain and day, I am going to help with the coaching search for this university because I want to keep this on the up and up. And he recommended one of the coaches that's on the staff already. That's his recommendation. A coach that the players are familiar with. He even spoke to the players about not making a rash decision and jumping into the transfer portal. Of course, some will leave, and some will follow him to Colorado, I'm sure. But he talked to them about making the best decision and talked to them and told them to come and sit with him so he can help them with that decision. For him, this is a bigger picture. This is a calling for him, right? He mentioned how 4 African American coaches on the Power 5 level were fired and let go. 4. And it's not that many anyway. And he spoke on his situation being the only one where the new replacement is African American. Because Colorado had an African American coach who was let go, and Coach Prime is replacing him. So he spoke on that being a bigger calling for him to represent for those who look like him and trying to get into that profession. So again, man, look into the bigger picture of these things. People are talking about he left for the bag. He spoke on that as well. He don't need no bag. He far from broke. He far from broke. He said, this is his words. Right? So I just think, man, we need to look into the entirety of the situation before we react to Prime leaving Jackson State. And again, man, I know some of the comments are going to be whatever they are going to be. But just think about it. I'm okay with you being upset and disappointed. I'm okay. But holding a man down, especially a black man down from making a step up or taking a step up, I just have a huge problem with that. Expecting one black man to be the savior of one sector of football, I have a problem with that. And some of the impact also we've already seen, where you've seen other high profile former players take college football jobs, right? On the HBCU level. He's even given ideas to HBCU football as a whole of having their own combine, which they kind of had one, to bring awareness to these players on that level, to show these NFL teams that these kids can play on that level as well. So it's deeper, man. It's a deeper situation than how it looks from the outside of him just taking another job. And I ain't here to preach to y'all, man. I'm just saying, stall them out. Look at everything before you react to the situation. That's all I'm saying. And now it's up to the coaches who are still in HBCU It's up to the coaches that'll be coming in the HBCU to continue to make the push that he did. He showed you that it can be done. That's what he did. He showed everybody that it can be done. And let's be honest, there's a lot of coaches in universities that didn't care for him coming in and getting that job and bringing the attention that he brought to Jackson State. So let's be real. So make up your mind. You want him there or you don't. But I feel like it's all laid. The blueprint is there. Follow it up. And another thing that can keep HBCUs afloat or on the main stage is us supporting. When they on TV, watch them. We got to play our part as well. Part of the reason it's not just Prime, right? Prime was who he was, right? Don't get me wrong. He brought eyes to the situation, but we continue to watch. We played a big part in that as well. So we got to continue to do our part. And I believe HBCUs will be just fine. So shout out to Coach Prime, man. Congratulations to him. And I hope he succeeds on his new journey because trust and believe, he's under more pressure than any coach on that level because of the success, because of the attention. So they'll be looking for him to fail. And the expectations will be high for him. So we can't just leave him dry. We got to rally behind him as well. Because he'll end up being one of those coaches that he spoke about when he was speaking to his players. One of those ones they'll walk out the door if it doesn't go the way that they want it to go. So, yeah, man, that's my 2 cents. I don't think I was here too long. But I had to hop on here and discuss this. I wanted to go live, man, but like I said, YouTube was hating on me, so I couldn't go live. So I had to record this. But anyway, it's done. I appreciate you guys being here. Y'all been rocking with me for the last 8 or 9 weeks, whatever it's been. On this solo journey, keeping me afloat, keep giving me ideas, giving me topics, tuning in. So I appreciate y'all. So look, man, follow me on my social medias, man. If you want more and want to connect with me, I'm OTR_Mike on Twitter and TikTok. I'm OTR Mike_ on Instagram. If you're new here, man, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button for your boy too while you're at it. Help me get my numbers up. And for my audio listeners, man, give me a 5-star rating. Do that. Keep me in the rotations. And if you got ideas or if you got show topics that you want to hear my opinion on, hit me on any of those social medias and I promise I will get to it and I will discuss it because this is the show where the mic is open for any discussion, no matter what it is, who it is, or where it is. That's my time, good people. I appreciate y'all. I'll holla. Peace.